So today we're going to demonstrate a square surgeon's and miller's knot instrument tie. First thing to demonstrate is the proper way to hold the needle drivers, and once again, not allowing your first knuckle to protrude through either of the rings, stabilizing the tip of the instrument with your forefinger. You want to gather your suture always, usually with 1 to 2 loose loops of suture material. Grasping your suture from underneath. Stabilizing the suture with your thumb and forefinger. Grasping the suture. Pulling it through. Applying firm tension. Once again, not allowing any tension on one strand or the other, which would produce a knot like that. You can correct that by releasing the tension on the suture. Again, pulling, now we have a full square knot. Then 2 throws. On the square knot, produces a secure ligature based on a square knot. Remember, cutting the suture ends 2 to 3 millimeters. Okay, now onto the surgeon's knot. Once again, gathering the suture properly in your hand with 1 to 2 loops of suture material, always important. Reaching through. Once, that would be a square throw. Now we're going to come through and grab it again. That makes this a surgeon's throw. Now a square throw on top of that makes this a surgeon's knot. And then 2 more square throws. And with the 2 more square throws, it makes this a secure ligature based on a surgeon's knot. Cutting the suture 2 to 3 millimeters. And note the waste that we have here on the rubber tubing, which indicates that there's been adequate tension on this. And very important to occlude blood flow that we have adequate tension with our knots, because that's why we're applying the ligature. On to the miller's knot. And first I'll demonstrate this with a rope so you can see the knot a little more clearly. Again, gathering the suture, or in this case the rope. Bring the rope over from on top, over once, holding those 2 sutures or rope in place create an X, pulling through and over again, placing the suture, or rope in this case, in between the X, reaching through, and securing the first throw of the miller's knot. For the rest of this, I'll just do the entire knot using suture material. Gathering the suture once again in your non-dominant hand. 1 to 2 gentle loops. Reaching through, making sure you have adequate length on your tail because you're going to be going around twice. Making your X. Coming through. Placing the tail between the X strands of the X, reaching through. For the first throw of the miller's knot. The next throw of the miller's knot is a square throw. And noting that I'm being very careful not to pull up too much on one strand or the other. So I have a nice, even square throw. Nice square throw. That's 3. And one more completes the ligature based on a miller's knot. Cut your ends to 2 to 3 millimeters. Note, even more of a successful waist on the rubber tubing with the miller's knot, which is why we like to use it in bigger, bulkier pedicles, because it creates a lot of tension, a lot of ability, potential for occlusion of blood flow.